Yo, what's good, fam? All my gamers out there. What's good, my beautiful people? It's your boy Tamziri. Back again with another episode of 72 of Exclusive Podcast, bringing you the weekly patch notes. Join with me are the good homies all the time, keeping it right every time, starting with Max. What's good, Holmes?
I'm doing all right, and yourself?
Hey, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Next up, we got Kid Ko Jeezy. What's good, fam?
I could be better, but I'm alright.
How did dog? Internet troubles, but it is what it is. It's let's just hope it holds on. All right, so yeah, it's been a while. We've missed you guys. Yeah, hope you guys have been checking out some of our other content, like our streams and stuff. And yeah, we're back to give you guys some more gaming tidbits and some beautiful shit. So like, subscribe if you haven't already. To those of you who are new, hello. And yeah, before we get started, we just gonna get started some admin. You guys have any admin or updates from previous episodes or just life?
Surprisingly, no, not really, or not at the moment. Maybe in the near future.
Okay. Kojo?
Nothing from me.
Oh yeah, for me, your boy got a Samsung, a new one, so I'm finally off of fucking Huawei, terrible ass phone. And yeah, shit's feeling nice. So yeah, the next part is just gaming news, so I'll slot that in. Moving on to the gaming news, Max, what's been going on, fam?
All right, so let's start talking about news which happened quite some time ago, but I still feel it's slightly relevant, and that is Bethesda officially unionized, and Microsoft has recognized it, making Bethesda the first game studio under Microsoft to unionize. What does this mean? Honestly, I don't effing know, outside of the typical union stuff of job safety, benefits, and having a third party represent you during disputes and other events. Forgive me for those who are in the know of unions. I've never had a proper 9-to-5. I've done weird odd jobs and stuff like that, and I work as a freelancer, so I've never had the benefits of those type of stuff.
Benefits of corporates?
Yeah, no, I've never done corporate work. All of the work I've done is outside of corporate and freelancing. I've worked for corporations as a freelancer, but I've never been hired as an employee. Just what are those called? Independent contractors. That's what I've been hired as.
Nice.
Yeah, you say lucky, but the job security sucks.
Hi, Dave.
Next, sticking to unionizing, so have the World of Warcraft devs.
Finally.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the ins and outs of unions again, but if all of these devs are doing it under Microsoft, I can only assume that either Microsoft is employee friendly, where previously these devs couldn't pull off these moves when their parent companies were free studios, or they're unionizing to protect themselves from fate similar to other studios like Tango Gameworks and etc. Then, sticking to the job theme we've got going on right now, SAG-AFTRA, however you pronounce that, has decided to go on strike against the video game industry. This strike will mainly, or I should say, they decided to go on strike a couple of weeks ago. And this strike will mainly affect Disney, Activision Blizzard, EA, Warner Bros., and Insomniac Games, among the headliners. Initially, there was word that GTA would be affected by this, but it was eventually cleared out that games that have been in development for over a certain length of time, I believe it might have been a year, I'm not quite sure what the length was, but such games would not be affected by the strike. So, for those not in the know, I'm going to give a brief summary of what SAG-AFTRA is. So it's basically like a union that represents actors, writers, and voice actors in the entertainment industry across the US. That's why the companies who were mainly affected, if you notice, were US-based companies. So this strike comes about due to AI concerns and how companies will compensate actors and voice actors when using the technology, and how AI will be a force that works alongside hired employees as opposed to replacing them. Negotiations have been going on for 2 years regarding this, and last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember when it happened, they officially decided to strike against the gaming industry. It was always lurking in the corner that, hey, if agreements are not made, they may decide to strike. And that time, months ago, when SAG-AFTRA was striking against Hollywood, there was a possibility that they would concurrently strike against the gaming industry, but the negotiations were ongoing and it never got to that extent. So here we are. Then next, moving away from the strikes, we're talking about Game Informer has shut down effective immediately after 33 years of running. The parent company is GameStop, for those who are wondering. And a lot of people online are saying how much it's a shame that Game Informer is shutting down. But I want to point out that all of the references I've seen to Game Informer has been about their cover designs. I've seen a couple of hundred tweets regularly talking about how it's a shame and how Game Informer was so good at putting out designs. Not one tweet has been talking about the articles or other things like that. I say not one tweet, but I was about to say that I came across only a single tweet which spoke about the content of Game Informer. So with that in mind, I wonder, is it really that big of a shame that it's shut down? Because I say this because if everybody's just lamenting about the magazine cover and not mentioning anything else, what content of substance was Game Informer really putting out there? I'll be the one to say it. So people should just shut the fuck up about lamenting about Game Informer being gone, and let's move on, because there's always going to be some type of publication shutdown. Print media is dead. So digital is where it's at, and even then digital, they don't really know how to monetize it to the fullest extent the way that print media was getting monetized. And I can say this because I studied journalism. I got a degree in journalism. I should say that. I shouldn't say I studied. Anyone can study something. I'm actually qualified. And then finally, this is not my area, but I want to quickly mention about the Bungie layoffs. Normally, I don't talk about layoffs because I'm going to be frank about it. I don't give a rat's ass about layoffs. Companies are always going to be laying people off. So for me, I don't see any value focusing on it. But I'm focusing on Bungie because the layoffs have bigger ramifications. There's a snowball effect with regards to this compared to other layoffs where it's like, yeah, the company's shutting down, that's the end of their story. Whereas with Bungie, it is impacting how they're going to be going on forward. But outside of that, I also want to talk about the misinformation that was going on Twitter regarding like Bungie's secret projects, the CEO's shenanigans, Herman Holst taking over, and about how Bungie misled Sony in the evaluation of a company. So I'll quickly touch upon each of those, but if you want to know the full extent of what all of these go through, I recommend reading the Jason Schreier article on this layoff. So first of all, with regards to the misinformation on Twitter, basically a lot of people getting angry about the Bungie layoffs, talking about how, these layoffs have affected Destiny 3. Destiny 3 was in production, blah, 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 and how layoffs have also affected other projects in the making. According to Jason Schreier, that is not the case. Destiny 3 was something which was being worked on, but it was quickly shut down way before the Sony takeover because Bungie higher-ups, basically the board, felt like they were struggling to capitalize on bringing in new audiences, younger audiences, into the Destiny sphere. So they felt like creating another Destiny wasn't the solution. They were trying to figure out ways to get younger players to play the game, feeling like it's only old gamers who are playing Destiny, and they don't like that. I don't know why. That's a problem, but that's how they felt about that. Then in regards to other secret projects, I forget what the code names were to these other projects, but some don't exist and other ones were being looked into. Again, you would have to check out the Jason Schreier article, or not even the Jason Schreier article, because I believe that's a paywall article. So fuck that. I respect Jason Schreier, but I don't respect paywalls. Go out elsewhere to find out what the article was saying. Don't pay. Paywalls are bullshit. Then regarding the CEO shenanigans, apparently, when layoffs were going on in the company, I should have laughed about this, but I just found it so funny. When layoffs were going on at the company, apparently the CEO was buying himself luxury brand cars worth like 2 million euros and stuff like that.
Of course. Oh, of course.
So then it comes with rumors about Herman Hulst, the current co-CEO of PlayStation, taking over as Bungie's new CEO, or I don't know how he's taking over, but he's basically going to oversee Bungie. Part of that is because employees or former employees, I don't know if it's current employees or former employees, but they are telling Jason Schreier that Bungie, when selling to Sony, they over-exaggerated certain features about the company to amp up the selling price, to make it 3.6 billion. And the company is actually not valued at that level, but Bungie lied about certain performances and certain goals to inflate the value of the company. So then that's what caused Sony to take over for 3.6 billion. And I don't know if you guys remember when Bungie was being bought for 3.6 billion, we were all like, what? 3.6 for one company who doesn't have that many IPs under them. And we just assumed, man, Bungie must be doing really well for them to be valued that much. It turns out, nah, they were inflating their own value. So with that purchase, Sony had an agreement with Bungie regarding performance, that as long as Bungie can meet certain performance goals, Sony would be hands-free. They're not going to, because I also wonder if you guys remember that was part of the agreement with Sony, that Bungie is going to be a separate entity from the other Sony studios, where it would still be making multi-platform releases and doing their own thing. But that agreement came with a caveat, and that caveat was that they have to be achieving certain performance goals. If they fail to achieve those performance goals, Sony was going to take over. And that's where this whole thing about Herman Hulst taking over as the overseer of Bungie is coming in. Otherwise, that is it for the gaming news I wanted to share. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, I leave the floor to you.
Cool. For me, just to say that so Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov has come out with the PvE series, so PvE zone. So essentially how this would work is if you have the two versions that are not standard, I forget what the fuck they're called, Off the Dark, then there's another one. But anyways, yeah, if you've got those two versions, you can use PvE. So it runs the same as PvP, except obviously you're not going to run into enemy players, but you'll still have the usual runs that you have on the different maps. And Streets of Tarkov, the map is not available on PvE, because usually how the game would work is that the actual like games themselves would run off of your PC using your processing power. And with Streets of Tarkov, you probably would not want that happening, so it's not yet optimized for you to be using the map. I'm not sure when they're going to actually release that, but hey. So yeah, PvE just looks hella flippin' fun. I would upgrade to it because it's just a $20 upgrade, which is a lot, but hey, it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? Good time. So yeah, that's just one. And then next up, Diablo 4. The mythic uniques will be much easier to farm in the next season. So the next season should be starting this coming week of April 5th.
I'm sorry, April?
Sorry, August, my bad. Yeah, coming out August 8th, I think. Yeah, I jam most of season 4. I don't want to say all of it. Most of season 4. I've pretty much leveled up a necromancer to the max. But I am very glad that mythic uniques will be easier to farm, because the drop rate of 0.02% is fucking wild. Anyways, that's my gaming news. Kojo?
No gaming news from me.
Hey, all right. Moving on to the gaming corner. What releases have we missed out on or should know of, bro?
Okay, so let's just talk about a handful of games. First off, we have a game called Mars 2120, released on the 31st of July 2024, developed and published by Cubites Interactive, and it is an adventure action indie RPG, and this is what it's about, and I quote: Metroidvania with a mix of melee and ranged combats inspired by classics like Super Metroid Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or Guacamelee, help Anna 13, Charlotte, battle her way through the secrets of Mars. Then next up, we have a game called Thank Goodness You're Here, released on 1st August 2024, developed by Cole Supper and published by Panic. And it is an adventure indie game. And it is about, and I quote, Thank Goodness You're Here is an absurd comedy slapformer set in the bizarre northern English town of Bamsworth. As a traveling salesman, take the time to see the sights and meet the locals who are very eager to give you a series of increasingly odd jobs. And Thank Goodness You Are Here is currently sitting at a 90 on Metacritic, which is pretty high. And finally, we have a game called Thalassa Edge of the Abyss, released on 1st of August 2024, developed by Sarepta Studio and published by Team 17 Digital Limited. And it is an adventure indie RPG game. And this is what it's about, and I quote, Uncover the mystery of Thalassa, a first-person psychological drama set under the sea. Ill fate has fallen on your former crew and friends, and it's up to you to find answers on board the wreckage. Experience the melancholic underwater journey of human stories facing life and loss, end quote. And yeah, that's it for the releases of the week and the gaming corner. What about you guys?
Yeah, I got nothing. Max?
So my news is old, but so because it's old, I'll just quickly glance over it. So the first fact is that for those, for whatever reason, they're interested, Concord details are available to them, and those details for Concord, which will be coming out, is that the game has no battle pass. It will have post-launch new characters, maps, and modes available free to all players. It will have weekly cinematics. At launch, you'll have 12 maps and 6 game modes. You'll have hundreds of cosmetics items earned by just playing the game. There will be no solo mode, and there will be a training mode. So that's the details of Concord, if for whatever weird reason you're interested in that. And the other thing which I wanted to bring up was about Overwatch 2, how they're going back to 6v6, or at least they're experimenting to see whether they should go back to it. But we all know they're probably going to go back to it because everybody has been shitting on the current format. So it just shows how much of a flop Overwatch 2 has been. Fallout London. If any of you guys care about that, it's available for you to play. But all of the things I've said, I'm pretty sure people already know about those. And if they don't, now you do. Yep, that's it.
Yo, Fallout London's been getting slack, bro. Flip. But yeah, hopefully not good. I'll have to play it for myself as well. Just jumping on the previous one that you mentioned. Fuck, I forget. What did you mention before this again? Wait.
Overwatch.
What? Yes. So they're saying something similar regarding Apex limited time event of 4v4. Like you play in a team of 4. Apex is obviously known to play as a team of 3. But in a limited time event, they tried out 4 in a team. I'm not sure if they've done this before. Koja, have they? Like a 4-man?
Didn't they do like a 2 thing, and the 2 thing worked so well that it became a permanent feature or something?
Yeah. That was a while ago, but like 4-man, because hey, dude, adding a 4th person really flipping helps sometimes with friendship groups. Let me be honest. So I'm glad, and I really hope it sticks. If it sticks as permanent as well, I'm coming back to Apex, like finally, so that Coach, like I can finally jam with you guys, you, Mali, and Stan. Gosh. Anyways, yeah, that's it for the gaming corner then. That pretty much puts us in the halfway region, I reckon. So please leave us a like and subscribe, and we will continue. All right, so content creator news. Yeah, so if you've been living under a rock, let me just tell you about DrDisRespect. He got banned off of Twitch a while ago for quite some time. Was live streaming on YouTube in the time being. It was unknown as to why he was banned, but then now we found out that he was banned. He did confirm things here and there, and he decided to take some time off. However, as of late, he has now made a return. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of people are baffled as to how he returned without really, how can I say this? He felt there wasn't really remorse or anything, or he made light of the whole situation. He understood that what has happened. But yeah, he was just like, okay, all right, back to it, money gang, all that type of shit. So it left a lot of people baffled as to how can someone just return like this and act as if it never happened. I mean, the likes of Nick Merckx and stuff were basically saying, good, this is how it should be. No one can silence you, the doc, and all this. So people are saying that he's now embracing a villain persona, he being DrDisRespect. So yeah, and the reason why is because, after his YouTube channel had been demonetized, closest friends were no longer supporting him. He then posted something late July. He posted a photo on X or Twitter, whatever, of a photo playing himself playing chess against an opponent who was playing checkers. So yeah, in the comments, the streamer lashed out at critics who brought up his controversy with the whole minor situation. Major situation involving a minor. Well, something that shocked Asmongold, one of the guys who had like a bigger voice in this whole entire debacle, who says that the doc has pretty much gone totally mask off. He doesn't have any brand deals anymore. He's got nothing left to lose, so that's why he's taking on this persona, trying to see if he can milk any money out of it. So yeah, and then he went on to predict that DrDisRespect will essentially come back to the streaming, but he's gonna probably pull more than 200k viewers, because he did have like a huge following, and probably some of the people that he had a following with are just like him, in a sense, even with him disgracing other creators and critics and everything. So Asmongold goes on to say that he's directly responding to accusations about him to minors with jokes and insults. This is a strategy I have never seen used before. I haven't seen anyone use this tactic before. He's coming back as a villain, actually be DrDisRespect. So yeah, who knows how long this fad is going to run. But yeah, cancel culture just doesn't work, man. And lastly, quick gloss over. Aiden Ross announces that Donald Trump will stream alongside him. Well, will feature in a stream of his. And he bets that he's going to make $100K in viewership with the Kick CEO. That's the bet. Yeah. So he bet the Kick CEO that he's going to make $100K in viewership. So we'll see about that. And yeah, that's it for my stuff. Kojo?
I have no content creator news, but to talk about the Aiden Ross thing, which I also heard of, I want to call cap on that. I really do.
100%, dude. How is Secret Service going to allow something like this, first of all?
But then again, Donald Trump did do the podcast with Logan Paul and Mike. So
yeah, true.
I could be wrong here.
Why would it not happen?
Why Aiden Ross? Logan Paul, I get for the most part, kinda. But Aiden?
America.
I mean, he's had Trump before, so Trump probably just yeah. I've seen clips of him talking to Donald Trump.
Talking to, or like in the actual stream, like in the actual, like in person.
Oh, you mean at boxing events and stuff? I don't know. Not at like boxing events. Actually were talking to him. I don't know whether it was his own podcast or what, but he had Donald Trump, and I was just like, was it in person?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Hey, ours is not a person, so I don't know. Sure. Alright, but fuck it. I mean, if any of you guys know, put the link in the comments. Yeah.
Is there a deadline for this stream?
Oh, when it's gonna happen? Let's see. Right, so Ross's stream with Trump is currently set for 1 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, or 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on August 5th.
So we'll know when it happened.
Alright, I will be there.
Yeah, same. He's gonna get that viewership money from me, dog. Let me tell you that. And yeah, alright. That brings us to the eSports section.
Hold on, you didn't ask Max if he has.
Oh yeah, Max, do you have?
No surprise there. Use your shenanigans.
Oh wow, nigga. You just said something anyways.
Just forget the black man.
We all black, hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it sound like you're a racist.
In case our viewers did not know, with all the N words we've said like every episode. Shit.
Basically, the only thing I want to reference is just about Moist Critical talking about how he's going to take a break from some of his internet activities where people blew it all out of proportion about how he's taking a break from the internet when it wasn't exactly a break from the internet. It was just that he's handling too many things and he feels like he needs to whittle down on the amount of things he's handling. And actually, talking about Moist Critical, there's also, he had that whole back and forth with, the hell's his name again?
Sneeko.
That's the one. I was honestly not going to get it. Yeah, where both of them had L takes. And Moist Critical did put up a video after the fact saying that, yeah, he didn't handle it as best as he could. However, the stance he was on, he still sticks to it. But he did fall for Sneeko's trap. He admits that. However, I say his stance is wrong because I'm just like, both of them are in the wrong with their stances, where it's just like, hey man, you're dealing with children. Let them grow up first, and once they're grown, they can do whatever they want. And that's what the stance should be. Not, as long, screw age of consent. No, let kids take hormonal blockers, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, both of them were in the wrong. It's that simple. And that's about all I have to share. I would have mentioned the MrBeast stuff, but that's a long-running saga, and it's still ongoing. So let's see how that concludes before we start talking about it. He did release a video for it, and it's probably got the most dislikes he's ever had.
Dude. Oh my god, it's so bad. I
don't know what the ratio between the dislikes and the like is. And also, he has been deleting comments referencing his current situation. But then people have found ways to get around the bot from having their comments deleted by basically eliminating spaces in their sentence, just grouping all their words together, or over-exaggerating the spaces to lengthen out the sentence so the bot cannot understand the sentences, and that's pretty clever. Yeah, so tell me, do you know what the ratio is for the likes to dislikes? Because the last time I saw it, I was hearing people saying it's got 2 million dislikes, but then I don't know what the likes were on. Because when I saw it, it was at 2 million likes and 1.1 million dislikes.
I don't see dislikes, bro. That's what I want to know. I can't. They've removed the ability to see dislikes.
Apps. Third-party apps.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, then I'll have to look up on that. Shit.
I don't want to be that guy, but I don't trust those third-party apps because they've been wildly inconsistent. And people have tested this out. Asmon has tested it out. Other people have tested it out. So I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm just saying.
To me, I don't look at it as a hard fact of this is how many people have disliked. I look at it as an estimator.
Because if many people are not disliking it, if many people are disliking it, I can understand that. Because I just dislike nigga, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, his downfall is like, it's music to my ears. I'm sorry. I always knew there was something weird about this dude, bro, since day one.
Hey, man. Nah, we all did. We all did.
Kojo was on this nigga's side, bro.
Okay, no. I'll defend Kojo on this side. Kojo has that problem of being indifferent. He never backs somebody. He never slates somebody. That's Kojo's problem. But I will say, you and I, 100% from jump, we're always like, nah, we don't like this nigga's energy.
Thank you, Maxwell. I appreciate
Kojo, we don't have time for diplomacy, nigga. We just...
Thank you, Tommy. I also don't like the diplomacy approach. Like, nah, have a stance on something and die on that hill.
Damage can be done in the time you're trying to be tactful. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, screw being Sweden.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Switzerland. Okay. It's always Switzerland. Why do you always say Sweden? Racist.
KGB, bro. Once.
I don't know why I always think Sweden.
I don't know. But yeah, anyways... Yeah, no, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, is that all, Max? You good with the content creator?
Yep, I am.
Oh wait, moving on to eSports. I finally have something for y'all. T1 Faker from League of Legends breaks down after a very crushing LCK, which is the Korean league of League of Legends. He suffered a great loss and he slammed his head into a wall. Now, maybe asking, oh my God, is he okay? Isn't that like too violent? Well, if you understand the team he went against, which was Gen G, if you understand why that was so hectic, you'd understand. I mean, yeah, then you would get it, because they were the world championship winners of last year, 2023. Well, no, they weren't. Last year was still T1. Yes, sorry, my bad. Shit, no. But anyways, yeah, Gen G has always been T1's like arch nemesis, arch rivals. Like Gen G versus T1 is always an incredible game to watch. Yeah.
Is Faker the best? What game is this?
League of Legends.
Yeah, is he the best League of Legends player?
In the mid lane, not in totality.
What the hell's mid lane? What do you mean by that?
Right, so for those who don't know League and Dota, they operate in the same way. You have a enemy base, you have your own base, and there are 3 lanes to get to your enemy base and destroy it.
You mean like strategical position in the game?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like global world standing, like there are different global regions or something like that.
Yes, but in all global regions, he is the best in the world in just that one lane.
No. That the fact that they are strategical position invalidates what I was going to ask next. What I was going to ask next, if you said he is the best, I was going to say then, when you lose then, at what point do you look at yourself and say, I must do better? Or do you look at your teammates and be like, these guys are not good enough to be my teammates?
Yeah, I get you. So yeah, Gen G had won the MSI, sorry. Just going back on that. Yeah, continue, Mas.
I was just going to say, but since they're positions to play, I guess he can't really be looking at his teammates sideways and being like, you guys are trash.
So the thing is, now, in the past, he's always, well, I don't want to say always. He said that many times to his teammates. Sometimes you'll even see it on, so what happens during the game of League of Legends, now and then, whatever tournament they hold, they do something that is called hot mic. That's basically where they will allow the viewers to actually hear what the players are saying to each other during a match. And you'll hear moments sometimes where he's just like, guys, come on, no one's supporting me, this and this, keep the kill for me, don't take my kills, this and that. Like, yes, this man has developed somewhat of an ego.
No, like, I feel like in the middle of a match, it's understandable. You're in the heat of the moment, so...
Yeah, but dude, shitting on your team during a game, like, that's defeating the morale.
I completely understand it, shitting on your teammates in the middle of something. Because you're in the heat of a moment, emotions are high. You don't have time to be considerate of your words and all of that stuff. For me, it's in the moment, I'm willing to look past it. Like if you guys are abusing, like for example, when we were playing the one with the cards, Rocket League. When we were playing Rocket League, I was 100% hands down the worst player amongst us. And if you guys are trashing me in the middle of a game, I'm not gonna take it to heart because we're in the middle of shit. So your feelings are on forefront and center. However, after the fact, when emotions have calmed down, when we're out of a moment, and then you're barraging me with insult, that's when I take it personally.
Nah, I get you. But I mean, you have to understand, like, for these guys, this is a job, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you get in the way of me winning my bag and like me buying a Ferrari, like, I'm going to shit you out. Like, it defeats the morale. Because what happens now with him being the world championship, the world champion of the middle lane, what happens with him is that, and this is exactly what happened in this loss that they took. In most games, the enemy team will they'll all just leave their lane, their assigned lanes, and join up in the middle lane just to fuck them up, like a 5v1, like every single time. And that's exactly what happened in this game, because in this loss, dude, I swear, so he usually never dies. That's the thing. But now when you have 5v1 and your team is nowhere, or they're taking too long to get to you, and you constantly keep dying, right, in the game, for every time that you get a kill in the game, you get money to buy more armor and, you know, and all that type of shit to enhance your abilities. Now he can't upgrade himself because he constantly keeps dying, and his like enemy team are getting more and more stronger to defeat him, to a point where now he must literally hold back and do nothing and just stay at the base, or, you know, try team up with someone else in their lane, ruining the whole entire dynamic of the game. So that resulted in the first loss. The second match was a very close call because they were still trying to do that, taking advantage of their gameplay because it started to lack. And I think it's because after the first loss and they had to go into the second game, they realized like their morale is just fucked at this point. Like they're scared because they constantly need to now protect Faker every single time. And it just throws off their gameplay completely. Because when they realize that Faker now has his entire team backing him, they're going to go bully someone else in the team, you know, forcing now everyone to run to that player and then come back and kill Faker again. And it's just, nah, dude. So yeah, his teammates had to restrain him and keep him from hurting himself so that they can make it into the third game. However, due to the second match also resulting in hectic loss and deaths on Faker's side, the game ended. So yeah, and then there's even a clip that's going around showing Faker breaking down and repeatedly slamming his head into the wall before Gumayusi, who's one of the members in the team, had to restrain him. And there's also a hashtag saying #we stand for Faker that was trending after the clip began circulating. So yeah, to put into perspective, Max, this guy started playing League. He was like, at the age of 16, he was already like seen as a flippant great League of Legends player, and ever since then he's just been known as the world champion of that lane. So yeah, like he's been playing since he was a teenager, dude, like a fucking prodigy. But yeah, so it does suck to see the fall of Faker. I personally have supported Faker as well, but to call this the fall of Faker does hurt me to say it, but I'm just being honest here. Like, man has definitely been losing his essence. There's always going to be new people coming into the game, and I think he's now realizing that his career, because I mean he came straight out of high school into this, yeah, man's gonna either have to step into the coaching role, manager role, or just get a normal 9 to 5 like the rest of us. And that is my content creator news. I mean, esports news. Kojo?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. So a few weeks ago, the Call of Duty League CDL Championships happened. The final was between Texas Optic and New York Subliners, and Texas Optic, or Optic Texas, they won. People predicted it was going to be a close match, but I think it was 5-1. Yes, it was 5-1. And so the prize pool was $2 million, and Optic Texas walks away with $800,000. New York, second team, walks away with $480,000, and Toronto Ultra, third team, walks away with $320,000. That's all dollars. And then finally, Evo, the biggest fighting game tournament of the year, happened a few weeks ago as well. And I watched certain matches and certain finals. I could watch all of them, time difference and all of that stuff, and certain events were happening at the same time, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so it was fun to watch these matches, to watch high level gameplay of these characters and these games. It's always fun to watch competitions like that, especially fighting game competitions. And I'm just going to run through the winners of the main stage games, which are the 8 main games. So for Street Fighter 6, Punk won. For Tekken 8, Arslan Ash won, which I think makes him a 5-time Evo champion now. Could be very wrong, but I think that is the case. Guilty Gear Strive, Nitro won. So for Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Ryzen, Arondamak won. For Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, MOV won. For Under Night in Birth, it was Scenario, and second last, Mortal Kombat 1 was Sonic Fox. I watched that final. It was so close. He fought a guy called Nicholas, who came second. It was so close. It was literally very close. And it's a shame. I wanted Nicholas to win, but it would have been nice to see Nicholas win. But Sonic Fox proving again that he's the best Mortal Kombat player in the world. Congrats to him. And finally, King of Fighters 15. The winner was Xiao Hai. And yes, that is it for my esports news.
Right, what the fuck are these people and their names, dog? Like, what? In Night Before Death? What the fuck was that?
Well, Under Night and Birth, yeah. It's a game.
What the Oh, my bad. You see, even the fighting is a weird, like Guilty Strive, Guilty Gears, what the fuck? Anyways, Max, Any esports from you, bro?
You know.
I bet. God damn. Alrighty, then if that is everything, don't know if you guys have any more updates or anything, but I mean, if you do, tough titty. That brings us to the end of this episode. We thank you, beautiful. Yo, I was gonna say creatures, but I can't call you guys that. Wanna thank you, beautiful people. Lack of a name. For listening to the podcast. Yeah, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah. Tell us what you thought about the whole MrBeast situation and the DrDisRespect situation in the comments. And yeah, just be sure to hydrate, keep good, and touch some grass. Yeah. It's your boy Tamziri from Skip bringing you the weekly patch notes with Maxwell and Kid Kojo. We'll check you in the next episode. Peace.